The question for both of you, 50 first, why this project, why now?
Well, we waited until after the results of the trial to release the project, but I started like almost 5 months before I was able to find Alex, and finding an Emmy Award-winning showrunner and director is detrimental to the project being really well put together. So, you know, they should expect it to perform like Reggie Jackson did.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up.
50 Cent's new documentary reveals what stayed hidden for years around Diddy, Jay-Z, and Rihanna.
Paper, I'm signing. Yeah.
The audience is so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if Tyra was trying to get that on the record, but my God, what Jaguar? He threatened her. This is her own words coming out of her mouth. And she was a kid at that time, correct?
A 15-year-old girl who had been flown to the United States without parental supervision or a chaperone, brought to a grown man's office in a large corporate Manhattan building. Everybody knew when she flew in. I was there the day she got signed. Everyone was talking about it. And the 6 hours that she spent with him, and the 4 hours that she spent alone with him with no parental supervision. Her father didn't show up to the next day to come and collect the check.
Well, and
this is her life.
The rumors were even beyond that, right? That Jay-Z was cheating on Beyonce with her when she was 17 is what a lot of this came out through a publicist who later then had to apologize.
Have you spoken to my friend Jonathan Hay? You should talk to Jonathan.
Please.
Because Jonathan was there. He was right there working with Rihanna.
The rumor that once circulated quietly has now become a much brighter spotlight. The documentary begins with a clear idea. In an industry built around influence, silence can sometimes provide more protection than security ever could. Jay-Z and Diddy are presented as powerful figures who controlled access and opportunity, while Rihanna's early career is revisited through questions about the power dynamics surrounding her rise.
And it was right when they started crafting her to be seen as a brand and commodity only and not a person. And when I talk to Jonathan now, just to hear him when he thinks of his teenage daughters, he was like, Rihanna was the same age my girls are now. I couldn't imagine putting my daughters through what we put her through. And then the next thing you know, she was removed from that first team from Pon the Replay and replaced with all new handlers and kept sheltered in Los Angeles, where she was going out to parties and partying at 15, 16, 17 years old, hanging out at the Rainbow Room, hanging out. Yeah, like it was one of my friends who found out she was 17 when everyone thought she was 21. And he was like, yo, why do y'all got me carrying this girl around? And she's, it's cool.
Well, but just to echo and support you, like they had to debunk that. Oh, we apologize. It wasn't real. We made it up in hopes of giving her single a boost.
Yeah, they promised Jonathan a deal working at Tidal and something, and then they reneged. And then the next thing you know, he was caught in a home invasion robbery while he was working on the Drake secret baby mama story.
Jeez.
Sophie. He was duct taped him and his daughter, and he was pow whipped in front of his child. So, you know, there's a lot that goes on in the backdrop. And I know the PTSD.
What initially appears to be simple online speculation becomes more focused when timelines, ages, gatekeepers, and key participants are examined. The documentary presents these details as a framework for discussion rather than a conclusion. If powerful influence can shape how events are remembered, accountability may arrive long after the original events. It also raises a difficult question about whether success can sometimes hide uncomfortable realities from public view.
Rihanna was trafficked to Def Jam.
She was an innocent baby when she came over here. And look
She
at
was
her
14 going on 15 years old. Flown over without parental supervision in a private plane by a man who was supposed to be a producer who auditioned her at 3 a.m. in the fucking morning in a hotel room. Auditioning at 3 a.m. in the morning, a 14-year-old girl. She was flown to another country. She was taken to Def Jam headquarters. She was left in a conference room alone with Sean Carter for nearly 6 hours alone. with no parental supervision. Her father collected a $500,000 check. She has the fastest inked deal in Def Jam history.
One frequently discussed part of Rihanna's early career is the night she was reportedly signed. Rather than focusing solely on her talent or discovery, the documentary examines the circumstances surrounding that moment, including how long the process lasted, who was supervising, and what the environment may have been like behind closed doors. Her origin story has traditionally been portrayed as a remarkable discovery, but the documentary asks viewers to consider the larger power imbalance that can exist when a young artist enters an adult-controlled industry.
Lawyer came up with.
Well, I think that his lawyer did a great job, somewhat, with the information that he had. I know people in the industry, been around for a long time, was there when he first started dating Beyonce at 17, 18, he was 30-something. You didn't know his age. When I look back and see how old Jay-Z was, I think Jay-Z was born in like 69 or 67, something like that, 67 right there, 69. I think he was born in 69. Beyonce, they said she was born in 81. You understand? But back then, in 81, when we was in the club together, 98, 99, she wasn't even supposed to be in the club, but she was in the club. It was Club Eugene's. And Jay was dating her. And at that time, if you look at Jay's age, he was about 30 years old. So, isn't she still somewhat a child? To me, she is. But I guess they protect child. That's how you protect a child. You know, dating her at the age of 30-some years old, and she's 17, 18.
The documentary then revisits long-running speculation involving Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Rihanna, presenting it as an example of how rumors can survive when there is little public information beyond denials. Jay-Z has maintained a highly controlled public image, while Rihanna eventually developed from a young newcomer into a global superstar. That evolution makes people look differently at the stories surrounding her early years. Still, speculation is not proof, and the documentary leaves viewers with the question of how truth should be separated from suspicion when only fragments are publicly available.
If that's her true age. We really don't know her true age because Gabrielle Union said she went to junior high school with her, and Gabrielle Union is considered 6-7 years older than Beyonce age that she getting. So we really don't know. You know what I'm saying? But to get back to your letter, I believe that the lawyer was doing what he did, and he threw shade at Puff in the interim of that by saying that all celebrities, you may think all celebrities are alike, you know what I'm saying? He know he's under this situation with Puff. But you gotta look at this right here. They sent him a letter, Busby sent him a letter for two reasons, I believe. To open up the floodgate, just like that 1-800 bad boy number did, and people start calling in saying what Puff did to them. Because he already had that information from that person when they first did the suit against Puff. She made those allegations back then. So he sent him a letter saying, yo, listen to me, man, hey, let's not let this go anywhere. Pay this off and we can walk away from it. And for what we know and what we've heard, that the girl information may not be totally right, because I know in 2000 what she just said, and me.
Diddy's presence becomes more of a backdrop than a single character in the story, representing an environment built around parties, connections, influence, and access to powerful circles. The documentary places Jay-Z and Diddy within similar discussions about networks and relationships, suggesting that people surrounding influential figures can sometimes benefit from remaining close while avoiding difficult questions. It also examines how reputation and long-standing connections can help powerful figures withstand periods of controversy.
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit.
different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Yeah, shout out D. Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D. Haven.
Yeah, we need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
You did.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty.
The broader issue becomes institutional rather than personal. If an entire environment is structured around protecting those at the center, responsibility can become difficult to define and easier to shift. When people begin treating discomfort as simply part of gaining access to an industry, the documentary asks who is willing to challenge the system when careers and opportunities are on the line.
To move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it. Think of the power of that moment. Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday.
The lawsuit changes the tone of the discussion because allegations are no longer being discussed only as internet rumors or commentary. Legal filings introduce specific names, dates, locations, and claims, including allegations involving a minor and references to potential witnesses. The documentary emphasizes that these allegations should not be treated as proof of guilt, but the move from online discussion into legal proceedings changes the stakes considerably. Once accusations enter a courtroom, statements become more carefully managed, while questions about evidence, memory, credibility, and accountability become central.
Jaguar Wright's claims on Jay-Z and Beyonce just got Piers Morgan a cease and desist. Piers Morgan just went public and said that Jay-Z and Beyonce's lawyers reached out to him and said all of Jaguar Wright's claims against them are completely false, and they want him to edit out the part of the interview where it speaks about them. Piers Morgan even explained that Jaguar Wright has been saying these things on other platforms, and he usually wouldn't cut out parts of an interview on a show called Uncensored, but he was basically left with no choice in a legal aspect. I knew the second that we saw Jaguar Wright step into the mainstream media and we heard all of this that it was going to go insane. So I wasn't really surprised at the fact that they are coming after Piers Morgan to get him to take it down. That way we can never watch it again. But just remember, we all have already seen it. Millions and millions of people, and we will never forget what Jaguar Wright said. As of right now, there have been no hits to Jaguar Wright, just Piers Morgan because it was on his show. But I'm going to go ahead and roll y'all this clip, and you guys let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits.
The public response creates another layer of the controversy. as attention can quickly move away from the allegations themselves and toward the credibility or motives of the people making them. The documentary portrays Jay-Z's response as strategic, while presenting the opposing side as viewing that response through a very different lens. Neither reaction is treated as proof of guilt or innocence. Instead, the focus is on how powerful public figures can shape the conversation when controversy reaches the mainstream. When the spotlight moves toward the people delivering the message, the original claims can easily become secondary.
Explain that to the audience.
Okay. Alex Spiro, after my interview, started taking large deals for Mr. Carter because I think I cost them, I don't know, maybe about 15, 20 million with my appearance on Pierce. And then the Levi stock offering and that campaign that they had, it really didn't go off the way that they wanted it to. They thought that the whole Beyonce campaign was really going to, that's what people aren't understanding, is how this works. They didn't have anything to say about me or acknowledge me until I started taking money out of their pocket. And then, rather than taking me to court, they just had Spiro call. Now, Spiro is a bona fide fixer. And guess who else he represents?
Well, he represented Alec Baldwin beautifully. I have to give him credit.
Oh, he's a wonderful fixer.
That was an insane fix he did. But yeah, he's very, very popular.
The narratives in place. He also represents Elon Musk. And he's also now representing the Tupac Shakur family, trying to get to the bottom of what happened to Tupac. He also, allegedly, if I'm not mistaken, put together the legal team that failed Tory Lanez. Thank God he's going to get a new trial. Alex Spiro is involved in a lot of things. Right now, what I'm going to get to the bottom of is whether or not he and Ariel Kidd have a background or have worked together in any way. Because if that's the case, I'm telling you right now, this was all a red herring. This was a ruse. I said it yesterday, I'll say it today. Everyone keeps wondering, when is the Jigga Man going to have something to say about his friend, the Diddler? And he said nothing. But it would be smart to put together a little legal wafu, get your hands on that book, create enough disinformation to create reasonable doubt. It would be a perfect way to help your friend quietly and keep yourself out of the conversation. And that's what Alex Spiro has been doing.
That brings 50 Cent into the picture, not as a witness or judge, but as a catalyst who has helped push the discussion into the public eye. His position inside hip-hop gives his commentary a unique perspective, while his history as a rival also means viewers have to consider his motives. His approach combines criticism, humor, warning, and provocation, forcing audiences to separate the substance of any claim from the person making it. The bigger question is whether an imperfect messenger can still bring attention to issues that deserve proper investigation.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. No, trophies. Those fucking trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career, this guy.
You're gonna let him say that?
Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
He has like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
Hold on. You're not wrong.
He was one. After that, he got them shits. He started drinking. His pictures were like, things the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
Absolutely, been treated differently.
The accolades.
Because he's no longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
Right? You were connected to the biggest.
Jay got it for the music. Jay got it for the music.
You didn't see.
He deserved those.
I'm sitting there, it's like this, like. Black excellence. They're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brunch.
Oh,
Like,
I hate you, man.
unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you niggas this year. Yeah. Come on, bro.
I mean, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
He just looking at his watch during the whole Rock Nation break. Like, is it 3:30?
Yeah, it's almost time to get out.
What the fuck is that?
Yo, I feel like I'm normal again. Get me out of here.
Oh wow! So that's the deal he signed, huh?
Yeah, that's the deal. Like, the other ones didn't count as much as that one did.
Oh, yeah, before I forget this, we talked about Jay. Proximity to Diddy. You don't think he knew anything? He's seemingly around Diddy a
I
lot.
don't know. That was a real suburb question.
Yeah, I know, right? Proximity.
And the proximity.
Proximity. That's the SAT hit parade word. I had to learn that.
Do you think he fucking knew all of the shit that was going on? Yeah, that was like a...
I don't want to incriminate myself.
I know, but the way he said it...
Like I said.
No matter how you answer that shit, you snitching.
Yeah, exactly.
By the final section, Rihanna's name becomes less of a headline and more of an unresolved question about how young artists enter powerful industries. She has built a career around independence, success, and reinvention, making discussions about vulnerability during her early years particularly complicated. The documentary argues that society often reduces women to simple categories such as icons or victims, while the systems surrounding them receive far less attention. If speaking openly can come with serious professional costs, the question remains: how many stories might stay hidden because revealing them feels too expensive?
Allowed her to come over there, because we would always think, like, how could a minor be doing these things? And obviously we would never say anything, but you've connected so many unanswered questions and stuff that we would talk about, that we were too scared to like bring up. It's like, wow, because I didn't think of Rihanna as a human. I thought her as a client. I didn't think of her as a minor. I thought of her as a client and as an artist.
That I know in LA that they had taking her out and taking her to all the parties and clubs. They didn't find out that she was underage until they went to the Rainbow Room one night and she couldn't provide ID. They were told she was 21 when in all actuality she had just turned 17. You remember when she was in LA right after Upon the Replay broke? That was around the time where they were moving you out and putting her new handlers in.
Right. That's facts. It was a really
She needed you. She needed her original team. And they removed y'all to make sure she had nobody to outcry to.
Right. And then we were almost blacklisted.
Oh no, absolutely blacklisted. They didn't tell you were blacklisted. It's just the jobs that you used to get easy. All of a sudden there were other people. There was a new direction. There were restaurants you used to eat at that were always sold out. Your table wasn't available. It is the shunning.
Yeah, exactly.
Social shunning. And then when people that you know who you are, start talking about you behind your back in ways that they never did. And all of a sudden their career begins to elevate.
Yeah.
It's social engineering. And the sad thing about it is, every last rapper that you said fucked you over also happens to be a government informant.
Yeah.
Why would you think that you had a chance against these people when everything that they do, the government seems to ignore? It seems like they were untouchable because you didn't know that they had a deal.
The final takeaway is that the discussion extends beyond any single celebrity or individual allegation. It centers on how power, reputation, silence, and influence can shape the way controversial stories are received by the public. While claims must still be separated from verified facts, the documentary encourages viewers to examine the structures surrounding major entertainment figures rather than accepting either automatic condemnation or unquestioning defense. As more information enters the public conversation, the real challenge is determining what can be proven, what remains speculation, and whether accountability can exist when powerful networks are involved.